One way to think about what this psalm is presenting is what we sometimes refer to as the antithesis. The antithesis. From the beginning of the world, following the fall of man into sin, God has established an antithesis, a fundamental division in the world between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. That's first described and explained in Genesis 3:15. Right after the fall, God comes and confronts the sin of Adam and Eve, and in the course of confronting that sin, establishes what he calls an enmity. An enmity, a fundamental divide, a fundamental war between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. This great war began when sin entered the world because God is at war with all evil. God could not simply let it go. He's at war with evil. And so if there was to be a salvation in this world, there would have to be war. There would have to be a great conflict. I am against evil, he says, and everyone who is with me must be against evil. I am light. There's no darkness in me. Everyone who is with me must be in the light and against the darkness. This is a battle line that runs through the middle of every human heart. This is a battle line that runs even through our hearts. But it is also a battle line that runs through history. It's a battle line that runs through history between those who seek the Lord and those who reject him. We call this the antithesis. This is the difference between light and darkness, good and evil, life and death, and to the point of this psalm, joy and misery. Now, this is the difference between good and evil, light and darkness, life and death, joy and misery. But the serpent and his seed have always wanted to blur the lines of the conflict. The serpent and his seed have always wanted to blur the lines of the conflict. The devil comes, the serpent comes in the garden, and immediately the first question is, of course, did God really say? Is it really clear exactly what he meant about this tree? Let's study this. What's going on there? Well, it's right away the devil comes in and says, it's a little unclear. There's a little ambiguity. It's a little fuzzy. This is what the seed of the serpent has been doing since the beginning. The serpent and all his seed comes and wants to blur the distinction. It's not as clear what God said. It's not as clear exactly where the light ends and where the darkness begins. It's unclear. It always wants to blur the lines. Of course, he came as an angel of light. There are false teachers. There are wolves that come in sheep's clothing. Right? They don't show up and say, hello, my name is Mr. Wolf. I'm a false teacher. See, it says it right here on my badge, Mr. False Teacher. I'm here to deceive you. I'm the devil. This is not what they do. They dress up. They dress up, they deceive. They come and they say, I'm really into homeschooling. I'm really into classical education. I'm really into worship. I'm really into Reformed theology. I'm really into conservative family values. I'm really into children, whatever. I mean, you have to think that way. If he's the angel of light, if the seed of the serpent comes and wants to blur the lines, then they're going to take things that are good and they're going to hijack them. That's what it means. They're not coming, hello, I'm here to ruin your life. That's not how it works. It comes with an offer of something that looks like light. But the point is to blur the distinctions, blur the lines. In the Old Covenant, there were constant temptations to be like the nations. Read through the Old Testament over and over and over again. That's the warning. Do not be like the nations around you. I've saved you from the nations around you. Don't act like them. Don't marry them. Don't worship like them. Don't live like them. You're different than them. I brought you out. And what's the story of the Old Testament? Over and over again. Getting friendly with the nations. Well, but we had to trade with them. Well, in order to get along with them, you had to do a few things. I mean, you can't just not interact with them at all. I mean, we live here in this world. It always resulted in their harm. It always resulted in slavery and misery. But the same principle is taught in the New Covenant. The same principle is taught in the New Covenant. What fellowship does righteousness have with unrighteousness? 2 Corinthians 6:14. What fellowship does righteousness have with unrighteousness? And he goes on. Paul it's not just one throwaway line. He's warning the Corinthians. He's saying, look, you're a different people. He quotes from the Old Covenant. Come out from among them. You're separate. You're different than them. You're not like them. Christians must be determined not to fit in with worldliness. I said it that way on purpose. You must be determined not to fit in. It's easy to go along and be like, well, I'm not trying to be friends with them. You see the difference? That's passive. I'm not trying to fit in with them. No. Okay, great. But that's not exactly what we're called to do. What we're called to do is to be determined not to fit in. You're to be determined not to fit in with the world. We've been called out. We've been rescued from the world. We are going in a fundamentally different direction. We are on a path, and it says, don't walk on their path. Don't stop and stand on their path. And don't sit down. You're not going that way. Those are not your people. That's not your way. There's no happiness down that path. It's misery. It's darkness. They're enemies. Don't walk that path. Don't stand on that path. Don't sit on that path.